Hello again, everybody. So soon after last time. Change of plans. I got an email from Dr. McCormick or Dr. Chisholm, about what you need to do during these 2 weeks that you are kind of just standing still in the water. There has been a little bit of change. There is a different essay than what I'm normally used to. You're still doing a rhetorical analysis, which I'll talk more about here in depth here in a second. You're still going to do an annotated bibliography and a proposal argument, but you also have an essay that's going to be a causal argument essay. I'm not too familiar with that yet, so that's a new one on me. So we'll see it. We have done a causal argument assignment before. If I had to imagine, it's just stretching that causal argument out a little bit further into a full-fledged essay. Basically, a causal argument is because X happens, Y happens. That's a causal argument. Because this happened, this happened. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this optional assignment that I'm about to post on Classroom. Actually, these 14 optional assignments. So on Classroom, you're about to see me post. In fact, if you're watching this virtually, you've seen me post 14 assignments and you're freaking out. These are all optional assignments similarly to the annotations. In fact, here, let me share my screen so all of y'all can see it. Which one is that? There we go. This one is, there we go. I don't know which one we're sharing. I don't think I'm sharing the right one, so I'm gonna flip back and try to share another one. Old people doing technology. Woo. All right. So, understanding the cryos of the I have a dream speech. So your first essay for EN100 will be a rhetorical analysis essay. And in this essay, you will be examining Dr. King's I have a dream speech for rhetorical effective strategies. We'll talk about what rhetorical effective strategies are that first week of the actual class come the day after Martin Luther King Day. In order to do that, though, you need to understand the cryos, or the timeliness of the speech. So yes, rhetorical analysis has kind of 4 parts to it. You have ethos, pathos, and logos, which is talking about logic, emotion, and credibility, appeals. But there's also one that is cryos, and that is how timely the argument is. The best way to put an example of that would be if somebody was trying to push for legislation on regulatory lengths of buggy whips. That's not very timely. We don't use horse and buggies anymore as our means of travel. But if we were to go back 100 years or even 120 years, would that be a relevant thing that people would want to know about? Would that be a timely argument? A timely thing that people talk about? Yes. And so that's what we mean by cryos, or timeliness of it, is why it was inappropriate for that particular point in time. Since the I have a dream speech occurred during the 1960s, you need to have a grok, or at least an understanding of what the events were leading up to that speech. And that's what these assignments are going to be doing. So, and as I said, Dr. Chisholm has selected 14 historical events that you gain this understanding of the cryos of the time. So for these optional assignments, once again, these are optional assignments, just like the annotations. For these optional assignments, I want you to read up on these 14 historical events and create videos summarizing the events in your own words. You will submit these videos on Google Classroom under the assignments. These videos need to be at least 1 minute long. Each event you create a video summary for will net you 5 points. So if you just want to do one video and get 5 points, more power to you. If you want to do all 14 events and do 14 videos and get 70 points, you could do that as well. So like I was saying, each video will create a video summary. Each video summary you create will net you 5 points. You could create 14 videos over each event and get an easy peasy 70 points. You could create one video over one event and get an easy 5 points. Heck, you could even do nothing and get no points. It's entirely up to you. You are the student. Since this is a new professor and we're dealing with, I have no idea how many supplemental assignments will be available. So you might want to get while the getting's good. Without further ado, here are the historical events that you can create video summaries over. And so here are the historical events. You have the option Jim Crow, you can do all of them, but the events she wants you to read up on to understand more about are Jim Crow laws, Emmett Till, the Freedom Riders, the 1955 Montgomery bus boycott, 1965 Bloody Sunday, 1963 March on Washington, KKK and lynchings, Ruby Bridges, the Little Rock Nine, Brown versus the Board of Education, the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing, the Mississippi burning killings, Claudette Colvins and Rosa Parks. That is actually a very interesting one right there. And then the Greensboro lunch counter sit-ins. Now, these aren't in chronological order. They're kind of mixed up, to keep that in mind. So it's not like we start with Jim Crow laws and we end with the Greensboro lunch counter sit-ins. They're kind of mixed up. So basically what I want you to do is pick one of those events, or you can do all of them, and just tell me in your own words what the the 1963 March on Washington was. In your own words, just a minute long, submit it to Classroom, and you get 5 points. All right, everybody understand? All right, everybody virtually, if you don't understand, please email me. Once again, these are optional assignments. You don't have to do them, but I would recommend doing them because you don't get the option of free points that often in this class. These are assignments, of course, that I am putting in place so you can help get your grade up to where it would normally be. So if you have an 80, that's a C here at high school, but in college that's a B. That helps get it up to the B that you're normally used to. So that's all I have for you. These will be due on January 15th. So we have all of the rest of this week and all next week to do it. Yes, I'm aware that January 15th is homecoming. How are you doing on homecoming? You have 2 weeks to do them. So, all right. So that's all it is. 1 minute for each topic. And I will see you later. Email me if you have any questions. Toodles. Bye. So long. Farewell. Fastidious. And goodbye.